everybody, I am back. I am so sorry I dipped. My mental health went out the window again, which means that I leave everything behind. So unfortunately I left you guys behind. Sorry, that is Elvis. He is knocking my tripod as usual. What are you... I just gave him a yogurt pot to lick out and he has brought it upstairs. So I haven't been too well in the last couple of months, so I haven't been recording any videos. I've been trying to edit my knitting machine videos that I filmed a really long time ago. They're almost there. They need music and a little bit more editing. But for today, I am gonna skip over that for the moment and actually get you guys a video out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my two big tubs. That's all I'm gonna be concerned about today. And I'm gonna go through it and sort it into fingering weight, because that's what I can use on my pass-up machine, which hopefully you would have seen in a short making a sock on here or on my Instagram, which incidentally is at Lovebird Lane. So I have the pass-up and I also have my flatbed brother machine with the ribbing attachment, which is what I have a whole video going over soon. Plus, actually I have one more knitting machine that I had actually forgotten that I owned. I have a Bond incredible sweater machine. So that is, it's pretty basic as far as knitting machines go. It doesn't have a tensioning mask, it does not mask. It doesn't have a row counter, so it's very basic, but it does do thicker weight yarn. So I can do, like, I don't know if it goes all the way to bulky, but I'm pretty sure I can do DK and worsted on that knitting machine. I have a lot, I think, of DK worsted weight yarn. So I'm probably going to have to get real comfortable with that Bond machine, because I'm not going to get through it this year unless I can machine that yarn. The other machines, like I said, the brother and the pass-up, they are both for fingering weight yarn. Fingering weight is kind of the upper. I think the brother can probably just about squeak in sport, but the pass-up kind of fingering weight is its top end. So what I was hoping to do was to get my two containers of yarn and split out the fingering weight into one and then everything larger than that into another. Elvis, stop it. So we'll split them into two different tubs so I know what's in them, and when I want to do a project on either of the machines, I can go to that tub and know that everything in that tub is knittable on that particular machine. So I'm going to go grab them. I'm going to stick them on my bed. We're up in my bedroom at the moment, so I'm going to stick them on my bed, and then we can begin the sorting process. I don't know how much of it I've actually gotten out of stash since my very old video that some of you are still finding, going through my stash, that very unsatisfying, non-decluttery stash toss video. I know I do have a project I've recently finished. I got a sweaters quantity out, so that was good, but past that I don't know that I've taken a whole heap out, so it's going to be interesting to see what I have. So I'm going to go grab my containers and I will be right back. So I think I'm going to be fighting Elvis most of the time that I'm up here doing this, so if the tripod shifts or something, it's probably Elvis. So I apologise. Elvis does what Elvis does because he's a GSP and that's what they are like. Right, I've got my camera set up and I'm just going to try and sort it here on the bed. Hopefully I have enough space. So let's have a look and see what I've got. Worsted. So I've started off with worsted, which is not what I can put on my regular flatbed machines. Bring you closer, I think. This better? A little bit closer, can see a little bit better. I have more worsted, so much worsted yarn. Okay, we've got some fingering weight. So I know some of this fingering weight has been moth affected, as you can see here, because this yarn used to be kept on open shelving at my roommate's house when we were living there with him. So some of this has been a little bit eaten, but as far as I'm aware, the bad guys are all gone. So we've got a bunch of fingering there. And I have been doing my level best to deter any new pests. Man, guys, I dyed this a really long time ago. It's probably very hard to see in this light. Let's see if we can lighten it up a little bit. I made this yarn, it's a self-striping, a very long time ago. It's got my old my old logo on it. And I'm going to be dyeing some of this soon again because it is so pretty, and I saw somebody knit some socks from it very recently, so I'm going to be getting on to doing some self-striping, which I'm sure a lot of people will be happy with. These are all my own self-striping yarns that I've dyed. This one's a 6 stripe, which is probably the highest I ever go, is 6 stripes, and then we've got a 4 and I think a 6 because it's got the white stripes in between. Because my knitting machines can actually knit down to lace, so if I do have anything that's lace weight in here, I can knit that on my knitting machines as well. Finding so much of my own yarn that I haven't knit yet. I actually really love this colorway. I haven't been able to replicate it quite exactly like this ever again, but this is called Dark Earth. I really love that. Whoops, and we're falling on the floor already. So far I've found a lot of sport and fingering. So at this point I'm just throwing the worsted and the 8-ply over the back there. I've got some hand spun here which I'm not entirely sure. They look a bit on the thicker side. Quite a bit of hand spun in here, and they're all kind of, which is weird because normally I spin quite thin, but these are all on the thicker side by the look of it. Elvis has given up and run away, which can only be a good thing, right? Tub 1, we are done and sorted. So let's get on to tub 2. Right, crate number 2. So this is one of my op shop finds that I got not too long ago. It's some vintage Cleckheaton landscape. And I think this is a bulky, I think 76 meters and 50 grams. Not quite sure what works out to be, but it's wool, viscose and linen. So I picked this up, of course, because there was quite a bit of it. So it's probably enough to make a sweater out of that. But again, that is on the thicker side. Alright, we've got some linen. And if you've heard me speak about it before, my hands get very sore when I'm doing crafting and things, so that's another reason why the knitting machines are very important for my well-being, to keep my hands protected, I suppose, in a way, and still get through my stash. So I've got a lot of Lindy chain from Knit Picks, and this is, I think, 70% linen, 30% cotton, so it doesn't have a lot of stretch, and it does hurt my hands when I knit this. So most of this will go on my knitting machines. This and my special wool and vine yarns, they get their own tub. They are all together, so that is fingering weight. I think we're all sorted, and I think we're going to be able to get everything back in their assigned tubes, what are they called? Containers. Words have never been my strong point, guys. I can be very articulate, but sometimes I can't find my words. Okay, so a lot of this I don't actually know what it is, which is kind of irritating. But I think that is something I'm going to deal with on a different day, because today was just about sorting, seeing what I have, letting it air a little bit, and trying to figure out what I can use on what machine. So this is probably going to be a pretty short video. I thought maybe I'll just go grab my incredible sweater machine and show you guys what that's all about. So I'll show you that at the end as a little bit of a bonus. Alright, let's start putting everything. You know what? I've got it separated out. It's fine. We'll start just putting stuff back in here. Okay, so that's all done. So I have everything split into the 2 tubs. The worsted DK weight tub is a little bit full. It was quite hard to get that lid on. So I'm thinking what I need to do is get my sweater machine, which I have right next to me, out pretty soon and start knitting some of that up, because I don't like the idea of the tub being like pushed open, because it makes it easier for pests to get in, which I do not want, obviously. So I have my sweater machine here. I bought this from Cash Converters, which is kind of like, Simon says it's a little bit like a pawn shop, but it's not really a pawn shop because you don't give them stuff to get cash and then go buy it again. You basically sell them stuff. So you sell them stuff, then they sell that stuff to other people. So it's kind of more of a way to make a little bit of cash with unwanted items. And I found this, the incredible sweater machine. So as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to have it, and it was, as you can see, $79. And when I got it home, it was pretty much brand new. I don't think the stickers hadn't been put on it for the needle numbers, although they have already fallen off. They didn't stick very well. And I think this was potentially from the 80s, because I mean 80s or early 90s maybe. It doesn't actually have a date on it, I don't think. It's on the front anyway. So this is what it looks like. So it's basically, it's a flat bed knitting machine. So that's your bed here with your needles in it, and it's a very, very basic carriage. It doesn't have manual tensioning. Oh no, sorry, the tensioning is manual. There's no yarn mask to tension your yarn, and basically it just breaks down into this box. So I will remove you from the tripod and you can have a look in the box. So it's quite compact, it all fits in here. So this is all like my tools and all that good stuff, because with machine knitting you do need a bunch of tools. So this, the way this works is, rather than having built-in tensioning, it has these cartridges, and they all have a number on them, as you can see, hopefully. That says, let's get it on the background, there we go. So that says that it's 2. So basically these are all different tensioning cartridges that we then put in the carriage. So clamps, so we can get it on the table, and then these are all the kind of tools. Machine knitting uses a lot of sort of latch hook tools, transfer tools, that kind of stuff. I know it's hard to see because it doesn't want to focus. It does not want to focus on the tool, it wants to focus on everything behind the tool. So, but you can get the idea. So I even had the original yarn that came in the box, because they give you a ball of yarn to start with, just so you can practice on. So I still had that. These are a little weight. So these were the little numbers that I mentioned. I did stick them on because they weren't stuck on at all. I did do them, I did put them on, but they have all kind of come off. So like I said, this was like new. Everything was still in the plastic. I don't think it had ever been used. Comes with a very, very, very useful VHS. So, but I believe what is on here is on YouTube. And this is the knitting machine itself. So this is your carriage. This lifts up, and this is where the little cartridge thing goes in, just in here. And then this sits over the front of the knitting. This is for weighting your cast on so that it will pull it down. And then there's your needle bed. So here's your needles. As you can see, some stickers are there, some have moved, some are gone. So they did not stick very well at all. But yeah, these are the needles with the latches on the end. Very hard to see though, so you can kind of just see there's a little latch. My nail can't reach it. So it's a little hook with a latch, and then you've got the needle butts. And the needle butts are what the carriage moves. So basically you've got to bring your needles in a working position, the carriage will run across, the needle will come out, pick up the yarn, pull it through the stitch. So it's 2 parts, they get locked together, and yeah, that is basically my incredible sweater machine. So I haven't actually knit an actual project on this machine yet. I have on both of my other flatbed knitting machine. So I have knit a sweater, a cardigan, and multiple pairs of socks on my other flatbed knitting machine. So yeah, I really need to get this out, get more familiar with it, get better at using it, because it is a little bit different, because so much of this is a bit more manual than the other knitting machines. And like I said, for the sake of my hands and the well-being of my hands, I do need to probably use the knitting machines a little bit more often than hand knitting, because I mean, I still hand knit, I do it every day, so that's not going anywhere. But yeah, for certain things like sweaters that get quite heavy and are a lot of stockinette, I probably should really do on the machine, and either do patterning on the machine manually, which you can do, that's what all your tools are for, or do part hand knit, part machine knit, just to, yeah, ease up on my hands a little bit and get through some stash a little bit quicker. So I think I will leave it there for today. I think that's quite enough. You're getting dazzled by my bedroom windows here. So just to wrap up, I would like to thank you for your patience in hanging around while I haven't been here, and thank you very much for hanging around while I haven't been here, and for all of you who have subscribed while I have been missing. You are very brave. You've taken quite a chance on expecting that I will be coming back. But of course, I always come back. I've been doing this since 2016 and I don't know when I'm going to stop. But, you know, it's a lot of fun for me. So if you do want to support my channel, I would really, really love it if you can, first of all, subscribe. I'm getting really, really close to 1,000 subscribers, and that has been a big goal of mine for a really long time. So I only need 10 more people to subscribe. So if you watch me on a regular basis and you are not subscribed, I'd really love it if you would click that subscribe button. How many times can you say subscribe in 5 minutes and not have a tongue twister? And also give us a thumbs up, give us a like on the video. That really helps with algorithmy kind of things for YouTube to acknowledge that, you know, I might be doing something that's a bit okay. I am on Instagram if you'd like to follow me over there. It is at Lovebird Lane for all my crafty things. If you want to see more sort of personalish stuff, a bit more of Elvis, that will be on Lovebird Lane _makes. So you'll see a bit more of like personal stuff and the dog and baking and things like that that I get up to as well. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope you are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Shut up, Julianne. Go away. Thanks, guys. Bye.